Good afternoon, everybody. I feel like I've said that once already because, of course, I have with the tile. We've done our tile sort of advents earlier today. Sorry it took in two parts, but we had a bit of a problem with the internet for some reason. But not to worry now. We're downstairs by the desk. I've got a nice cup of tea sat next to me, and here we're going to go and make a start with tile 298. Can you believe 298? This time next week, I've got to have cake, because it's going to be tile 300. Gosh. So what are we starting with today then? Okay, I've got my pen pencil tortillon. I've got some coloured pencils as well. I have got a coloured sample, so I might do this one monochrome and show you both so you can see where they look or how different they look. And I've got a pink tile from the pastels, and I've done a bit of inking on it. I don't mind, you see it's a little bit sort of scratchy. I quite like that. Certainly with the idea of what we're going to put on there. So, okay, are we ready then? I think so. Let's get started. So, of course, I'm going to go in with pencil first. I want to do a little bit of sketching just to sort of get us going. So, if we're all ready, hello everybody, it's lovely to see you. Have you been listening to the Christmas songs on the radio? Yeah, they're on in here. So, we've not got the tree up. That's Leslie's job next week to do with Sarah. So, they're going to sort that out. Ready for classes next weekend. Gosh, it's all happening, isn't it? Okay, got my pencil then, and here we go. I'm going to sort of work central-ish. Let's have a look. I'm going to start with... Now, do this lightly because you're not going to need to see all of this when you're done. We need a little bit of space. Actually, I'm going to turn it that way because I want more space at the top. There we go. So let's put some large bubble shapes in there. Of course, you can sketch it round, can't you, when you're using a pencil? And see, they're not too small. I've gone a little bit higher there, but that's okay. I just want a bit more space there, that's all. And let's have one sort of down here. Again, don't worry if they're going over and under each other, that's fine. Okay, there you go. So I think I'm going to decide now that one's going to be underneath there. Okay. Remember, if you're using water-based ink pads, just check if you can use a rubber on it, because sometimes they'll rub out. And I've used an ink base here. I've not used my brush pens, so I've just got to be careful of that. Okay, so we've got those. So let's come in with pen and let's turn these into something. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to start with this one, I think, and I'm going to create a curve, sort of coming around and along like that. So it's a little bit like a planet, I suppose. And then let's turn it into a double, you see there, so it's sort of a little bit flat at the bottoms. There you go, job done with that. Okay. Oh, hi everybody. It's lovely that everybody's coming to join us. So I'm going to follow this shape, but I don't want a bubble at the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come round. I'm going to put a little bit of a dent in it. There you go. Okay. Oh, Carol, that's nice. The antibiotics have been working then. Let's put a little bubble in the top there, look. And I'm going to put another one in the middle. There you go. Okay. So let's look at this bottom bit. And, hello from Michigan. I hope it's not too bad. It's a little bit murky here, honestly. We've had quite a bit of fog. Doesn't matter if they are not quite in the middle. Okay, everything's just going to move around. So let's see how we get on with that. And then I'm going to create another little curve here. You see, I've not gone... There you go. Not gone straight. I've gone a bit curved. Same here. And I'm going to fill those with ink. There we go. All right. So let's put that little join there. It's like a smile now, doesn't it? And then let's draw the rest of that shape in. There you go. All right. Okay. So next one, now I want to do this line again, but I don't want it to be in the same direction or the same sort of position. So I'm going to go this way. See, you've got a slight different angle there. They're going to be all going different ways. Oh, Tammy, hello. I've not seen your name for ages. I hope you're well. Hope everybody's okay over there. It's such a long way. Gosh. Oh, it's nice to see your name there. See a little sort of it's in the top and back round. Oh, Lynn, I hope you're feeling better soon. No. We want you better for class. There you go. I know, Gladys, ear trouble's not good, is it? I used to have a lot of earache when I was younger. Yeah, took my tonsils and adenoids, and that helped a little bit, but that was a long time ago. Oh, goodness me, Tammy, it is, yeah. It is a bit cold here. I must admit, I've got layers on today. But it's still not seriously freezing, so. Now you see here that it's a little bit of a, it's not quite round there. It looks a bit like somebody's knocked this bell while it's been in storage. But that's okay, because it's pencil. I can come back in and I can add that little extra line in just to help me get that curve going off. There we go, see? That's better. It's all happy and smiley again. Are we all singing Jingle Bells then? There you are. So we need another one. I'm not going to have it upside down. I want it sort of hanging. So let's have a look. Sort of a difference between those maybe. Let's just see how it ends up. Here we go. So there it is. Making it look like a planet. I know, the two girls on the road, Thelma and Louise. Lynn and Nadia. I know. There you go. See, I'm going to put that little bump in, just as before. There we are. And then around we go. See, I'm going to see just, again, part of that. Let's bring that in as well. And again, two little bubbles. I'm going to fill them in as I go. Like buttons, don't they? And then again, let's put that little curve in. You could actually, if you saw the bottom of one of these, it would be like a cross. But because we're only seeing part of it, we're only getting that sort of shape. But you don't get the cross, you just get the single line. But a lot of variations, isn't there? There you go. All right. So I'm just going to remove those lines now. I'm just being really careful around that ink. You notice there's not much ink around there anyway. There you go. Alright, so that's that bit done. Okay, so let's have a look at the top here. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to put a bit of a bubble in here. Now I say a bubble, that's more of an ovalish kind of shape, not too small. Just above it. And I'm going to turn it onto its side. I want a nice big sort of curve here. There we go. The same on this side. So the starts of a bird. There you go. Oh, hey Nick. Nicola, hello. I'm glad you've got it. The last of our orders have gone out today. So hopefully everything will be with you. And of course, postage orders, anything that we didn't send out on Monday is now gone as well. We didn't want to post it, so it was going to get squished in the box, so we thought we'd wait. There you go. Oh, Debbie, that's nice. I hope you're okay. See here, I'm going to put another little curve in. Recovering well. See, you've got a bit of a bow going on there. So let's just put in the sort of the tails. See, it's going to come underneath. I'm not going to see much of it there. I'm going to split it in about halfway, and I'm going to start quite thin, but then it's going to get a little bit wider. Just a bit at the bottom there. Oh, take care, Lynn. We'll see you soon. I'm going to put a little V, see, in the bottom of that ribbon there. And the same sort of this way. So, again, let's bring that out, down. Same here. A little bit wider. And that little V in there. Okay. So let's just have a little look at this bow here. What I'm going to do, I want to put a bit of a grid on it, but I don't want to do it sort of straight. I'm going to do it at a slight angle, but I'm going to still put a little bit of a curve on it. You see? Just helps to give that sense of shape. And notice I'm only doing it on this top bit. I've not done it on here. And same there. And then I'm going to continue it along here whilst I'm sort of in that mode and that angle. Let's get those in there. Okay. So this bit underneath, you're going to still see that pattern. But what you're going to you want to do, let's just go a little bit closer so you can see. I want to have it slightly offset, because of course it's been folded over and all sorts of things. So it's going to be slightly off. Oh, Julie, that's nice. Oh, I'm glad everybody's getting their parcels as well. Yeah. Same this way now. So I'm going to come back in, and again I'm going to do this little curved grid. Now, I do normally start in the middle, but it didn't really matter with the ribbon today. And then underneath here, again, slightly offset. So now it looks a little bit weird, but once it's shaded, you'll know that that's the bit going underneath. Same here. And just sort of filling them in as we go there. There you go. Maybe a tiny bit. And again, just sort of offset those lines there. Okay. We've got to do something similar. We need a couple of lines on here as well, like a little grid there. And then of course, all down here. So I might actually just sort of, you know, while I'm in that sort of angle, put a few of those. Actually, I'd probably see a bit under there, wouldn't I? There we go. So, oh, Rose, that's nice. You are being very good there, but I would do the same, honestly. I know when I used to teach in school, the kids would bring presents in. They were like, "Why won't you open them, miss?" No, I was very steeped in tradition, I think. I don't feel like it's a Christmas present unless I open it at Christmas, you know, on Christmas Day. So I used to annoy them to distraction, but I would refuse to open any presents till Christmas Day. Same with birthday presents, I think. That's another one, isn't it? Yeah, I mentioned birthday because my husband's just walked past. Just to remind him that he's got less than a month. Oh dear me. He'll remember. There you go. So I'm just putting these little squares or square-ish shapes where each one joins. And, I did speak to Yodel Sue, and he didn't seem to think there was a problem, so it might just be the amount of parcels they get in with it being this time of year now. I hope you think it'll be worth the wait. It's I know you want to get on with some of these pieces of art that you can do. There you go, see, and let's do that one as well. Sort of any that you can see, even if you think it's going to be a little bit, you can add that in. There you go. And not forgetting, of course, we have got to go down here too. Put these in. So it's a nice one. It's going down the middle. Oh, not to forget that bit. So everywhere that they join, you want a little bit. Same on here. There we go. You just sort of joining those up. It sort of helps neaten it a little bit as well. There you go. So what's going on there? But let's add a little bit in. There you go. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it was so, gosh, 7:05 Monday morning. Goodness me. Yeah, it was an early start, wasn't it? There you go. So we've got this to sort of get going. We need now to join these up to the bow. So what I propose we do, and again, you could do it your way, is I'm going to come round, because we've got this all done in pen anyway, I'm just sort of going to do like a little bit of a wavy line. There you go. Just so they cross that over, sort of joined. Now here it's going to sort of go underneath the ribbon, I reckon. So it looks like it's going in behind, but we can't have them not joined. Let's put that in there. You've got to make believe in some way that it's happening. Okay. All right. There we go. So we've got those sort of joined in there. I mean, it doesn't mean they're hanging. It could be that they're just sort of sat on the sofa ready to go on the tree. Okay. So let's have a look now. I've got like, let's put a line here. Okay. And I'm going to turn it round because I'm going to start at the bottom here. And again, let's go a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to create these sort of little, like really long lozenge kind of shapes. Okay, really long. Now just leave a little bit of space in between them there. Let's put one up here at the top. And then I'm going to come down this side, but I don't want them to be particularly matching. There you go. See, that's going to go under there. We're going to have a lot of that going under. So you can go through that because it's that little cable. Okay. And then I'm going to create more. I'll do some up here and then you'll see what I'm aiming for. Is I'm going to go underneath at a different angle. So then I can add another one, look, and then that can go underneath. Then that can go under there. You see how we start to sort of build up these little shapes, but it makes sort of a slightly thicker foliage. So you definitely need one in there, look. So they're all slightly different angles, all going underneath each other. So there we can, so we'll add a couple of little lines to sort of get the appearance it's going underneath. Oh, Rose, yes, you can use those frames with the new book, yeah. So if you've got the original frames that were all separate, you can still use those frames to work. And because I've started the instructions, I think for the majority of the time, start on the counting number 1 as the one in the middle. You'll still be able to do the same size as me, so it'll all fit in fine. Yeah, so they're not obsolete at all. You can still use those. There you go. Let's have a little look at this. There you go. So you've got this sort of lovely little bit of foliage. Let's put one in there, look. Okay. So let's have another one on the other side. Now I'm not going to do, see I've got this curve going here. I'm not going to do another curve going the same way. So let's sort of bring it out and round. Okay. It'll just look a little bit unusual if we try and do that. And then just as before, I'm going to work up that curved line with these lozenge shapes. One at the top there, look. And then along. Yeah. Oh, hello Leslie, glad you got there safely. We have to know where she is at all times, just to be sure. You let your Alf out your sight just for a little while. And, you know, you need to know. We've got her on tracking, so it's all right. She doesn't know that, so don't tell her. Leslie's off to see family and friends this weekend, so. She worked so hard getting everybody's parcels ready. Tommy's finished them off this morning, so they're all out. So, yeah. And it's a cup of tea before we started. We've only just had lunch, Leslie. There we go. Okay, so looking at this, that you could do with another one there. Depends sort of how thick you want your little sort of branches to go. Let's have a look at another one. So a nice two at the top. We want maybe one down this way. So let's bring it sort of as though it's coming down here and along there. And again, putting those little lines in. So don't try and keep them at the same angle. It's going to be really nice if you do them at different angles. So you notice I'm sort of turning my tile just to sort of help me a little bit with that. There you go. And working it round there. See, just sort of filling these shapes in. It's just a really nice one to work to. If you wanted to do a, you know, sort of part of a Christmas tree and have something hanging, then you could use this sort of across the top as a bit of a branch. So that's always quite nice. There you go. And let's see, let's put one in there. And one in down there. You see how it sort of really starts to build. Don't worry if your shapes are a little bit different, it's fine too. There we go. And so it just sort of starts to formulate as you go. And of course this time of year we want them to be quite thick, don't we? There you go. And don't want to have two and then so let's put another one in here. I'm just going to put a slightly smaller one in, so it's almost sort of going underneath there, isn't it? Let's do the top first, and then work my way downwards. It is, just to give it a little bit of a sense that things are going behind. Yeah. Oh, Sir Dobby. I don't know if you know, early part of last year, Dobby took out a Bupa plan. There are others available, and he's actually using that at the minute. I think he's milking it a bit. He had a bit of a problem with his leg, you know. I think he'd had some grief from some of the students where he was supply teaching. So he's currently in hospital, having a leg up. We're hoping that he's going to be back in time for classes next week. That would be nice. And yeah, so he's at the moment I can tell he's all right so much because he's using my credit card to do all his online shopping. So trust me, his fingers are quite quite all right. He can still click on the internet and type in some numbers. So he's not that bad. Just can't walk about very much. There you go. All right. You can't make this up, can you? Oh dear. There we go. How are we doing? So look. See, so now we've got sort of 3 on this side, 2 on this side. It looks a little bit more like realistic. I think what I'm going to do though, just maybe have a couple of little lines sort of under there, so it looks like this. Going underneath. Oh, better do that side, that would help. Because it's like anything, you know, you're not going to sort of do your cards symmetrically, so doing an image. Rose, I'm leaving the outfits to Dobby. I have no idea what he's planning. I know him and Leslie were having a conversation the other day, but I have no idea what he's planning. Okay, so I think I'm going to bring the border in. I'll draw that in while we've still got the pen in hand. And of course, if you want to, you can draw it as a straight edge. But I'm going to sort of freehand it and have a little bit of a wobble on there. Okay. And the same here. I think actually now I might come in with a bit of colour on those bells. Or even if I did one bell, what do you think? I think it just sort of wants a little bit of something. maybe pencil most of the way and just accent a bounce. I might do that. There we go. Okay. So let's start with a regular pencil just to get going. Here we go. So, yeah, a little bit sharper than the other one. Okay. Come on in then. Oh, Sue, yeah, gold would be lovely, wouldn't it? It would actually, yes. I'm going to stick with this. I mean, even here you could actually colour these in different colours, so you've got a bit more of a check kind of thing going on. Metallics would be lovely. All right, so underneath here, let's start with this bit. Let's come on in and add some pencil all the way around. See, like that. And same on this side, so around the top look and then underneath. There you go. Just a little bit around one edge, and then underneath, let's take it down a little bit. Okay. So looking at my bow, if you are going to use pencil, then this is where you'll put it. If not, you know, you can colour this whichever way you like. But so I'm going to shade this bit. There you go. And same this way. So some of it here. It'd be nice to put sort of gold and silver in those little spaces as well, wouldn't it? There's a lot. I'm sure you're going to be doing fabulous things with it. There you go. All right, let's have a little look at that. There we go. So this one is the most prominent of my bells, so I'm going to leave that one to do it in a colour, and these ones I'm going to add some shadow to. I think let's just put some on the ribbon underneath, just to give it some. Or you could choose to do just the ribbon and everything else monochrome. It's entirely up to you. So let's just change this out a little bit. I want a little bit of a highlight sort of around there. So if I put the darker pieces along here, see I've gone a bit further there. Same around there, around the bottom. Just a little bit on those shapes there. Okay, so I'm going to rub this out because I don't want to draw that bit in. I can use my white pencil for that, so I've got that. And then here, you're not going to get the highlight here because it's underneath that one. So if I add my shading there, see it's going underneath, a bit further out that way, I'd put my highlight there. Okay, I know we don't worry about that when we're tangling. Sometimes it's nice to just point out what you could do there. Okay, and I'm not going to colour every one of these in or shade everyone individually, so what I am going to do is just a little bit of a zigzag up the centre lines, just where you can see it. Same there, like underneath. Okay, so let's bring our tortillon out. So we'll start with the bow. This one pretty much we're going to round it off but leave a little bit of highlight there. So this, I'm just going to start it there, but then let's just give it a little bit more to go. I want it to travel a little bit closer to the centre there. Same with this one. Let's get it going. There you go. And then help it just to pull it slightly out into the middle there. Same along here. And again, I don't want all of it to be in shadow, but it's not going to be as much there. And then same with this one. Again, there's nothing stopping you going over this and adding some colour in the squares as well. You can do all sorts of things with it. There we go, so just sort of get it in. Same with this one. Okay, so we've got that sort of bow done there. And then we need to just soften off that pencil on the edge of the ribbon. Okay. Right, bring a bit of colour in that and show you how you can do that in a short while. And again, like let's bring in a little bit of softening. You see, I'm just working it round, but I don't want it all to go into that area. Still around the top there. Okay, same in this one. Let's put some swirls on the go and ease off the pressure. Sort of work it round. There you go, same in the middle there. Alright, I think a little bit more there maybe. There you go. And then of course this one here, similar sort of thing. Just going to bring it round. Now I don't want it to be straight there. So you see I pull a little bit that way and a little bit that way. Okay, so you're getting a little bit of a highlight there. Okay, top and bottom. And there. Along we go. Sort of keep it nice and gentle. Softening it off. Okay, so far so good, looks good. Oh, Kathy, I think it would, wouldn't it? Well, actually, we've done, this is the third Christmassy one now, I think. You know, if you've not done your Christmas card yet, like I haven't, then these would be great, wouldn't they? You can just sit and redraw this one, try it in a different way and send these out. A bit of a production line, maybe. See, that one I've just worked that along. Yeah, a little bit of shading under there, maybe, just to give it a little bit of something. I haven't shaded around the outside yet. I think I'm going to do that in a minute. So let's bring in some colours. Now, I know the other day I did pastel pencils. Today I'm going to bring in some coloured pencils. Now, a little bit of a heads up with the pastel pencils, actually. I do have some on order. They won't go onto Hobby Maker, they'll go directly to my website. So if you want some of those, it should be just before Christmas. They usually take about 2 weeks to come. So just keep an eye out for those. I'll get Chris to put a message out at the time so you know, okay. So here we go, I've got some colours here. I've got a couple of pinkies, a bit of white and a purple there. So I'm going to start with, let's start with the white, do a quick colour through. Now the highlight I'm going to put here, so let's just put that white in. You might not really see it, but I know it's there, see? Oh, you can see that bit. So I have a bit there as well. It's a bit down there. Okay, just so I remember. Now I'm not going to do white here, I'm going to use my chalk for that, so that's okay. So I'm going to come in with my darkest pink and let's add a little bit of colour. Now remember, you've got to blend a coloured pencil in, so you don't want to get too carried away to start with. Let's add a bit of that in. So it's almost like you're just sort of working out where these colours are going to go. See, let's bring that pink in. This is my lighter pink. Now see, as I'm getting to the white, I'm going round in swirls. Okay, so you can just sort of get, you can feel usually where that white is. Let's put that in there. All right, so that's looks a little bit rough in areas, but we know that we've got all my colour down. I know my white's there. You can see the resist slightly. So I think actually I'll bring a bit of red in as well. Let's put a touch on here. Okay. There we go. See, I've pressed on a little bit there this time, because now I know where my colours are going to be. I can do that with a little bit of colour. And just a little bit around there too. So then it's a case of working back and forth with those colours. I don't want to lose the whole of that white. Just to work it in and around. And see, just pressing on a little bit more. I'm not too worried about which direction it's going in as I'm working my way around, because it's just layers building up. Okay, and then back in with my lightest pink. And again, So you see I can go over my white there, it's just giving me that little highlight. Okay. Same here, look, just coming up to that. And just working my way up to a little bit there. Alright, just bringing in the purple. It's just going to help to give me a little bit more shade. See, just in that area there. A little bit in there. Just on the edges. I'm back in with that red just to help blend that in a bit. There you go. So I think whilst I've got my my red here, I'm just going to come in and just add a little bit to some of those. See, it's just getting a little bit paler in there. I'm not going to add every one, but you see, oh, wrong one. Bit in there, bit out, pencil in. There it is. Thank you, Tommy. Cup of tea time.
Makes your tea too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So Leslie knows she's on listening. So I think she was just checking up on you, Tommy.
I'm hoping the tea's alright. I'm sure alright.
Oh, it'll be fine. There you go. See, just adding little bits in here and there. Gives it that little bit of something, doesn't it? The main thing is the bell. We want to keep that at the foreground. So just little hints. There you go. That's nice. Okay. Now, shading, we could do outside or inside. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to do the outside of this one. Oh, Wendy, I'll pass that on in a minute. He's disappeared into the other room. Actually, first time he's made me a loose leaf cup of tea. Okay. He's doing fine. There we go. Just sort of coming around with little swirls, really tight swirls, because I don't want to move this too far. I just want that little edge. I think, you know what, actually just doing that little bit of ink around the tile. And it's the fact that I use pink on pink. It's not so noticeable, but it gives it that little bit of something in the background. There we go. And again, just sort of taking my time. There we go. Alright, you see here it's got a little bit rough on the edge. Let's just soften that off a bit. Okay, so a couple of things. Okay, just need to find my white pencil. There you go. Oh, I'm gone. I thought that was a bit big. That was a coloured pencil. There we go, white chalk. And let's add in some highlight there, just like I said. And then a little highlight there. Just a little bit along that edge. Okay, and I can add just a touch in there. And just sort of giving it a little bit of softness in the middles. Yeah. Oh, Chris, where can you find number one? On this page, you can find it. I did it yesterday on this page. And Chris has very kindly put it onto YouTube as well. Today's is also on this page, but I did it in 2 parts because our internet was a bit dodgy in areas. So it is unfortunate. But I think you'll get the gist of it, so that's okay. All right, so what do I have here? I've got a sort of a Stardust kind of gel pen. And, you know, just because I want a little bit of glitter on this, I think. It's just nice to go around and put a touch on. There you go, so it's just a little bit sparkle there. You can make it as glittery as you like, and you can go to town with your gel pens and all sorts of things. But I think I'm just going to put those little bits in there. I'm not going to overdo that too much just there. Okay. So let's have a look. Actually, hopefully we'll have. There we go. So the last thing I need to do with this. Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris has shared it to the group as well, to the Sanntangle group. So all we need to do with this now is a little bit of a signature. There we go. And there's tile 298, goodness me. Now I have, as I say, done a full colour version of this. So I used a white tile, here we go. And I've just coloured it with my regular coloured pencils, just like you've seen me do with that one. So whichever you want to do. The only thing I've not done on this yet, and that's because in a pencil case that's as big as goodness knows what, I can't find a white pencil, a white pen. So what I will do on here is I'll probably add some white pen just to give it a little bit of a highlight, you know, in the lighter areas there. But other than that, that's done. So I will sign that one as well. So really nice one to do this, and you know, if you want to sort of try it in different colours, or maybe, I don't know, ink the tile fully first, all sorts of things, or go in with your metallics, that'd be nice. Just have a bit of fun with it. So, okay, with that all done and sorted, have a lovely weekend. Of course, Advent tile number 3 is going to go ahead tomorrow, just as planned. 4 will be on Sunday. I'll see you back on Monday for 5. And then, of course, Tuesday we're back to still doing the Advents, but we'll be doing tile 299. So really excited to sort of be doing this next week. It's just going to get better and better up to Christmas. So have fun with it and keep up. That's the best way, I think. So, okay. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely weekend, and we will see you soon. Okay. Bye.